Hello all, this is Liji and today we will see strings in functions. So as we have seen before, strings are test data in Python. The data type assigned to tests. Test data in Python is referred to as strings. So it is formed by enclosing the characters in single quotes, double quotes, or for multi-line strings we use triple quotes. Okay. Now suppose we have a string S and we have assigned I love coding to it. So that's a test that we have assigned to it. Okay, so yes, we have I love coding. Okay, one thing I want to highlight is it is only in Jupyter Notebook or in Colab, that is the Python notebooks, that we can print something by just giving the variable name. Okay, here we have just given the variable name and we are able to print it. But if you are trying out the code in .py files using some IDEs, okay, then you cannot just see the content of that by using just giving the variable. You will have to properly give print statements over there for printing out the variable. So that is one thing that you will have to take care if you are coding in a .py file or using some IDs. Okay, now let's start with string indexing. So we have a string. Now how to access each L each character in the string? How we can access them? Internally, when Python is having a string, it is stored in this manner. I mean, it will be each and every character in the string will be given an index, will be assigned an index automatically internally. Okay, so and the index starts with 0. So here, if you can see, I is given this index 0. Then we had a space over here, right? See, I, there is a space over here, so the space is having the index 1, then L is having the index 2, so and so on till G is having the index 12. So the main thing that you have to notice is indexing starts with 0. Okay. So how we can access these characters one by one? We'll just see. Okay. So S of 0. See, we got I. So what we'll do is we'll give the string name, the variable name, followed by square brackets, and you have to mention the index over there, and like that you will be able to access each and every character in the string. Okay, you got I. And here as your S of 3. Okay, what is S of 3? 3 at index 3 it is O. It is not location 3. Okay, third location is 1 2 3. This is third location. Don't get confused with index and location. Okay, since index is starting with 0, the location, exact location and the indexing will be different. Okay, the location index will be 1 less than the original index, because location is different than regular indexing. Okay, index starts with 0. So what is S of 3? S of 3 means O and not L. Okay, it is not the third location, it is the character at the third where the index is 3. Okay, so S of 3 is, let's see, it should be O. Now what is S of 10? 10 is I. So let's see. Yes. Now, in order to find the length of the string, okay, at many cases we'll be needing to know what is the length of the string. We can use the function len. Okay, so len, and as a parameter we have to pass yes. So if you see, the length of the string is 13, and over here the index starts with 0, and so index ends with 12 since it starts with 0. So the last index will be always 1 less than the proper length of the string. And when you come here, Python provides a means to have negative indexing also. Not many languages has this provision. Okay, so in Python we can have negative indexing. So suppose we don't know which is the last character or last index, we can just easily use -1 and get the last character in the sense. Okay, so it has a provision of negative indexing, but only thing is that negative indexing starts with -1. Okay, positive indexing starts with 0, negative indexing starts from -1. So if you see, G is having negative indexing. Okay, it's -1, -2, -3, and the first character will be having 13 because length of the string is 13. So the first character will be having minus 13 and the last character will be having minus 1. So it is very easy to get the last character of the string. That is just by giving using the index minus 1, we will be able to get the last character. And second last character, it can be minus 2. So you don't have to worry about what's the length of the string, then found out the last character index and all those things. So it is very easy to get the last character in Python. So s of minus 13, as we have seen, it is g. S of minus 1 is g. S of minus 13 is I. S of minus 10, where is minus 10? Minus 10 is O, right? And we are just checking whether s of 0 equal to s of minus 13. See, this is s of 0 index and s of minus 13. It both are referring to I, right? So we'll just see what it will give. It will give us true. So that is all about string indexing, and this is how we can access each characters and each of the characters in Python. Okay. Now suppose in last day we have seen for loop, how we can get each characters. For ch in yes print ch. So this is how we can iterate through each of the characters in Python. There is another way by using while loop how we can access. Since we know that the index starts with 0, what we'll do, while index less than length of yes, right? Because length index will be 1 less than length of x always. Okay, while index less than length of s, print s of index. Sorry, index, and see, I didn't increment the index over here, and because of that it is going into an infinite loop. Some infinite loop is happening over here. See the star, you can see, and it's going on printing I because the index is always 0. I didn't increment it. Okay, that updation I didn't done, I didn't do, and because of that here the condition check-in is always true. Okay, so I have to print and I have to say index equal to index plus 1. Let me just force stop it, and now I'm executing it once again, and we got everything. So this is how we can iterate through a string using while loop using the index. Okay, now string this Python provides us many string functions to us, um, in order to have some to manipulate these strings. Okay, let us see. If you see, go to this page. I have given the Python documentation page over here because it is not possible for us to remember each and every string functions available to us. Okay, so if you just go here, it has it is listing out all the functions or whatever functions that is available in Python. Everything is listed out over here. So depending on our need, you can just see, okay, this is the function find, okay, this is its index, okay, and this is how it is work, what is up, what is start, what is end, everything is listed out, and depending on that you can go and use it in your code. It is not possible to remember all the functions or to remember its syntax because there will be lot of things that will be coming across and it is not possible. But just you should be practicing and you should be having an idea that, okay, I can do this thing with some of the functions in the string. Okay, so that kind of idea you should be having, and after that the syntax and things, everything is readily available to you. Okay, now let us see these functions one by one. Okay, let us see this function. Since I'm using Jupyter notebook, okay, when I yes is a string, I do dot and I do a tab, I get all the functions available to me. Okay, all the functions are available. So let us see what is capitalize. Capitalize. Okay, I have given capitalize, but I don't know what it is. So what I have to do is I have to do shift tab. When I do shift tab, everything, all the details of the string of that function is available to me. Okay, so what it does, it returns a capitalized version of the string. Okay, more specifically, make the first character have uppercase and the rest lowercase. Okay, in our case, I love Python. See, I was already in capital. Okay, so we cannot change any see any change over here. So what I can do is I will make another string, say Python. Okay, and I will call capitalize on that. See, it made the first character into capital letter. Okay, now let us see another function, capital. Okay, count. Okay, let me take that. Okay, I have given it here. Now I'll see what are the details. Okay, so here it is given count, sub, start, end. This square brackets over here means it is optional. Okay, you can or you need not give those. Okay, if you want, you can use those parameters. Otherwise, this is the only mandatory parameter. Now let's see what it does. Return the number of non-overlapping occurrences of substring sub in string. An optional argument start and end are interpreted as slice notation. Okay, so what it does is it returns number of occurrences of a substring. Okay, so suppose I will give O. Let me see what's the count of O. Okay, there are two O's in I love Python. Okay, isn't there two? Oh, yes, there is O. And the start and end, what it does, it checks for this count within that start and end index only. That's what start and end does. Okay, now let us see another function, s dot ends with. Okay, it checks whether the string ends with something. So let me see whether on, whether my string is ending with on, false. Okay, what is my string? My string is coding. I love coding. Okay, so let me okay, and so that's why it gave on as false, coding ng. Yes, I got it as true. Okay, now let's check out another function, ends with. I'm just mentioning all the main functions that we'll be using regularly. Okay, not that's why I'm not mentioning all the other functions. You can easily get the details from here. So yes dot find. Okay, now what does find do? Let's find out. It returned the lowest index in it where substring sub is found. So it searches for a substring, this substring in the string, and the lowest index. Okay, suppose there are two or three places where the substring is repeated. So it returns you the lowest substring. Okay, sub is contained within this start and end. Okay, so you can specify the start index and end index where you need to search for it also. Okay, so let me just give what I need to find. LO. Okay, so it is starting at index 2. Now s dot find. There is something known as index. So how can it be different from find, right? See, index. Shift tab. So it is again, it returned the lowest index in S where substring S is found, such that sub is contained. Okay, it is same thing as find. So again, let me give LO. It gives me 2. Okay, now what is the difference? Let us see. Shift tag, check it again. So what it is mentioning, it is returning -1 on failure. What find is returning -1 on failure. And what it is index returning, let's see, traces value ever when substring is. So that is the difference between find and index. Okay, so like that you can find out all the details from this docstring only. So now s dot, let's see another function, is alna. Shift tab. Returns true if the string is an alphanumeric string, false otherwise. So is our string an alphanumeric string? No, it has only alphabets, right? So it returned us false. Is alnum, is alpha, is ASCII, it has all those things. Is decimal, is digit, is identifier, is lower, is numeric, is printable, is space, is title. So all those things are there. Okay. Now let us see lower. What is lower doing? Okay. Shift tab. Returns a copy of the string converted to lowercase. Okay, so it converts everything to lowercase. I love coding. Okay, there is something known as s dot title. What does it do? See, it converts the first character of each of the words into uppercase. Okay, that's what it does. If you see the thing, return a version of string where each word is title case. Each word it makes it into capital letters. Okay, let us see few more things. Yes, dot. If you see, there is something known as replace over here. Okay, so what is replace doing? Old and new. You can so return a copy with all the occurrences of substring old replaced by new. So you can give something and which replaces it. So instead of coding, I will give Python. So I love Python. Instead of I love coding, it changed it and it made into I love Python. Okay. Now s dot. There is something known as replace. Then there is something known as partition. Okay. So what does partition do? Partition the string into three parts using the given separator. So we can mention a separator over here and it partitions the string into three parts. Okay, so what are the three parts? This will search for the separator in the string. If the separator is found, returns a three tuple containing the part before the separator itself and the part after it. Okay, so you can mention a separator over there. What it does, it partitions a string into two. One before the separator, one will be the separator itself and one will be the things after the separator. If the separator is not found, returns a three tuple containing the original string and two empty strings. Okay, now let us partition this on the basis of say what, p. Let's partition this on basis of p and c. So see, okay, there is no P because our S is I love coding. This I love Python is something else. I mean, it has just returned it. It has not changed S over there. Okay, that also you need to know. Okay, see, when we do this X dot replace, it has returned as a new string. Okay, you can save it into a string. Yes, one also. It will be having I love Python. I will just show. Yes, remains as it is. I love coding. S1 is I love Python. Okay, this S is not changed. Fine. So now, um, yes dot partition based on, do me the partition based on C. So what it does, I love, and the space also it has considered as one single thing. C is the separator and then whatever after C we have got it. Okay. So that is how partition works. Then yes dot is upper, lower, find, replace, partition. There is something known as split. Okay, so let's see what it does. See, it gave us three words, I, love, and coding. Okay, let's just see what it does. Split, what it does, returns a list of words in the string using separator as the delimiter. Okay, we give as a separator as the delimiter. It returns the um, list of words in the string. So we will be having, we can mention, okay, this is the delimiter, and based on this you split the entire thing and it returns at the list of the things. Okay, the delimiter according to its according which to split the string. Okay, that is the step over here. None means split according to any white space. So if you are not specified anything, it will split according to any white space and discard the empty strings from the result. Okay, mat split, maximum number of how many splits you want to do, -1. That's a default value, which means no limit. You have to split it. So since I didn't specify anything, it taken the white space as the delimiter and it splitted it for me. Okay. Now suppose yes1. Let me just split it on the basis of some character itself. Say C. Okay. Okay, there is no C because it was I love Python. So let me split it on the basis of P. So I love, and then whatever is after that I got. So in this case, difference between split and partition is that one, it can split across multiple things. Okay, when it's in partition, it's the first occurrence of the delimiter, and then it splits this into three. Okay, so one will be the one thing after before this, the delimiter itself, and the characters after the character. In case of split, it checks the entire string, and based on the wherever this delimiter or wherever the separator is coming, based on that it splits it. So here, since we didn't specify anything, it splitted it on the basis of white space, and because of that we got all the words in the string. So the white space is removed, and we got all the words in the string as a list. Okay, this list we saw, I explained in the last class. It's items enclosed within the square brackets. We'll see it in detail in the next class. So s dot split, we got it like this. Okay, based on P. Okay, now there is some, suppose there is a string, uh, there is lot of white space, then I am giving Python, and then there is lot of white space. Okay, so what you can do is s1 dot strip, and it will remove all the white spaces from it, and it will give you the string. Okay, so that is what strip does. It removes all the white spaces from the string, from both the sides of the string, and returns you the string only. Okay, if it is left string, if we have given L string, it will strip only from the left side of the string. If we had given R string, it will only strip from the last side, right side of the string. Okay, so here we can mention what are the characters. Say returns a copy of the string with leading and trailing white space removed. If the characters is given and not none, remove characters in characters. So if we have not specified anything, that then only it strips on the basis of white space. Otherwise, it will strip on the basis of the characters that we have given over there. Okay. Now there is a function as join. Okay. Concatenate any number of strings. Okay. What it does is it can concatenate any number of strings. So suppose I'll take this example only. See, join, and we have given a list of strings. Okay, what it does, it joins the string on the basis of whatever we have given on the left side of it. Okay, we'll just execute this and see it has joined everything, and how it has joined, it has put the character that we have given over here. Instead of this, I can give white space like this. So it will be joining those list of strings on the basis of this. Okay, so today we have seen strings, how the indexing is done. Indexing starts at 0 for positive indexing, and length of string we can find out using len function. We can do the negative indexing also. It starts at -1, so the last character in the string will be having the index -1, and all the string functions is listed in the string docs. You can just go through it and you can understand all the string functions. To highlight few, capitalize will capitalize the first character of the string. Count will give the number of occurrences of the character passed. Ends with will check whether the string is ending with that particular substring or not. Find will check. Find and index will give you the return you the index of the substring that we have passed. First index of the substring that we have passed. We can also mention the from which start index and stop index we need to do the search. And for in case of find, it will return as a -1. If there is a failure and index, it will throw a value error. We can check whether the string is alnum, alpha, digit, decimal, and all those things. We can convert the string, the case of a string, using s dot lower, s dot upper, s dot title, etc. We can replace a substring in the string. We can partition the string based on some characters. We can split the string based on some delimiters. We can strip the strings based on the white spaces, and everything can be removed, and we can join few string using these functions. All the details of the strings are given in the Python documentation. Thank you all. That's for today.